It is 11:47 p.m. in the Caribbean. 200 nautical miles off the Venezuelan coast, the sea is calm, the sky is black, and nothing looks out of place. Then the noise begins. From the deck of USS Gerald R. Ford, jet engines scream into the night, one after another, with no pause between them. A fighter launches, then another, then another. The sound never fades. It stacks, layers, and spreads across the ocean like a solid wall. Inside Venezuelan radar rooms, operators do not see an attack. Their screens are full, almost too full. Too many tracks, too much movement. Everything looks active, routine, normal. No single contact demands attention. On the carrier, no one is shouting. No alarms, just controlled motion. Deck crews move fast. Hands signal. Wheels lock. Jets disappear into the dark. Somewhere beneath that constant roar, far below the radar picture everyone is watching, something else is moving toward land. And here is the moment that matters. From the command center, a quiet voice breaks the routine and asks almost casually, "Are we sure this is just normal operations?" No one answers. Because if it is not normal, then whatever is happening right now is already too late to stop. Here is why this moment matters, and why what sounds like routine noise is anything but normal. The Caribbean is not an empty ocean. It is one of the most watched pieces of water in the world. Shipping lanes cross here every hour. Patrol aircraft fly constant routes. Coastal radar sites stay active day and night. For Venezuela, any large movement by the United States Navy near this region is automatically sensitive. That is exactly why this operation is so dangerous. Normally, militaries look for silence. They look for gaps. They look for the moment when radar screens go quiet or when aircraft disappear. That is how real attacks usually begin. Tonight is the opposite. From where I am standing, the carrier is operating at full speed. Jets launch and land non-stop. The sound never drops. The air picture never clears. To anyone watching from shore, this looks like standard American dominance at sea. Loud, obvious, and familiar. But for the sailors on board USS Gerald R. Ford, this is not a routine patrol. Keeping this pace for hours means every crew member is under pressure. One mistake on the flight deck can cost lives. One delay can break the rhythm. Everyone knows that if the tempo slows, even briefly, attention will shift. And attention is exactly what they cannot afford to lose. Far from the ship, a small team understands this better than anyone. If the noise stops, they are exposed. If the pattern breaks, they are seen. For them, this operation is not about politics or power. It is about time. Seconds matter. Minutes matter. And right now, the noise above them is the only thing keeping them invisible. That is why this matters. Because what sounds like chaos is actually control. And what looks like routine is hiding something very deliberate. And once this kind of operation begins, there is no reset button. The first response does not come with gunfire. It comes with confusion, slow and spreading. Inside a Venezuelan radar center, the screen fills faster than the operators can label contacts. Dots appear, overlap, then stretch into long trails. Some tracks vanish for a second, then return somewhere else. A technician leans forward, rubbing his eyes, trying to lock onto a single object that clearly does not belong. He cannot find one. From where I am reporting, the reason is clear. On USS Gerald R. Ford, the launch cycle never slows. A jet rolls forward. The deck crew locks it in place. A green light flashes. The shooter points down the deck. 2 seconds later, the aircraft is gone, ripped into the dark by raw force. The deck shakes. The sound stacks on top of the sound before it. 45 seconds pass. Another jet moves into position. No buildup, no dramatic pause, just relentless motion. Below deck, the ship does not feel strained. Power stays even. Systems reset instantly. There is no waiting for pressure to rebuild. No moment where the rhythm drops. Electricity flows, switches flip, and the next aircraft is ready before the last one has even climbed out of sight. In the air, the response is just as controlled. American fighters do not rush inland. They do not challenge directly. Instead, they spread out in wide arcs, filling the sky with movement. From a distance, it looks messy. From a sensor screen, it looks overwhelming. 18 seconds after a Venezuelan fighter lifts off from an inland runway, the carrier group already knows everything that matters: its speed, its direction, its climb. Before that pilot reaches the coastline, he sees the reality ahead of him. American jets already positioned between him and open water. He does not lock radar. He does not fire. He turns away and lands. That single decision sends a message without words. Down low, almost invisible against the dark sea, the helicopters continue forward. Crew members scan left and right. One checks fuel, another tightens his grip. No radio calls, no lights. The noise above them is so constant, it feels permanent. This is the first response of the night. Not an attack, not a warning shot. Just pressure applied so steadily that the other side does not know where to push back. If you believe the carrier group controls the sky right now, press 1 inch the comments. If you think Venezuela still has a move left, press 9. And if you want to see how this pressure builds, make sure you are subscribed. Because the sound over the Caribbean has not dropped for a single second. And as long as that noise continues, something important is still moving beneath it. As the hours pass, the situation does not calm down. It tightens. From the outside, nothing changes. Jets keep launching. Jets keep landing. The rhythm stays the same. That is what makes this phase dangerous. Escalation does not always look louder. Sometimes it looks steady. On USS Gerald R. Ford, fatigue starts to show, but discipline holds. Deck crews rotate fast. Faces are focused, not rushed. Every movement is deliberate. In close operations like this, even a small delay can break the pattern. Even 5 seconds can matter. In close combat planning, angles matter more than speed. A slight turn in formation can change what a radar sees. A small shift in spacing can decide whether a contact blends in or stands out. That is exactly what is happening now. In the air, American fighters subtly adjust their orbits. Not closer, not farther. Just enough to keep every radar screen full. The sky never clears. There is never a clean picture for the other side to react to. Inside Venezuelan command centers, the tone changes. At first, operators were calm. Now voices rise, questions repeat. Officers walk back and forth, trying to understand what they are missing. Is this preparation? Is this pressure? Is this just a show? No one can answer because there is no obvious trigger. No missile launch, no border crossing, just constant motion. Out at sea, escort ships maintain their positions, creating overlapping coverage that leaves no open path toward the carrier group. From any direction, the response would already be waiting. For the helicopters below the noise, this steady escalation is everything. The longer the rhythm holds, the safer their movement becomes. Every extra minute means less chance of being noticed. Every completed cycle overhead pushes attention away from the surface. There is a moment now where the tension peaks quietly. No alarms sound. No orders are shouted. The ocean remains dark and calm. And that is the most dangerous point of all. Because when escalation looks this controlled, it means every side is waiting for the other to make the first visible mistake. And so far, no one has. Here is the twist, and it is something no one on shore realizes in real time. The loudest part of this operation is not the threat. It is the cover. Every jet launch pulls eyes upward. Every radar sweep is dragged toward the sky. Analysts focus on patterns they recognize because those patterns feel safe. They look familiar. They look controllable. What they do not look for is what does not fit those patterns. Low over the water, beneath radar angles, and hidden by terrain clutter, the helicopters move inside the shadow of the noise. Their route was planned with precision. Every mile stays inside the acoustic footprint created by the carrier's non-stop air operations. From above, nothing looks wrong. From the shore, nothing sounds unusual. Even experienced operators fall into the trap. When everything is loud, nothing sounds suspicious. When everything is moving, nothing looks urgent. This is not stealth in the traditional sense. The helicopters are not invisible. They are simply unimportant to the systems watching the sky. At this point in the operation, the crews in the air do not know what is happening below. The deck crews do not know why the tempo cannot slow. Even most of the ship does not know the real reason for the pressure. Only one small group understands the truth. If the rhythm breaks now, attention will drop downward. If the noise dips, eyes will finally search the surface. But the rhythm does not break. Minute after minute, the sky stays full. The sound stays constant. The pattern stays clean. By the time city lights appear ahead of the helicopters, the hardest part is already over. The twist is simple, and that is why it works. No alarms were triggered. No defenses were challenged. No warning was ever clear enough to act on. And that means the most dangerous phase of the operation has already passed, before anyone realized it had even begun. This is the moment everything narrows. The extraction window opens without warning, and there is no dramatic countdown. It happens quietly, the way real operations usually do. A short radio transmission cuts through hours of routine traffic. Calm, flat, controlled. Package moving. Above the city, American fighters tighten their orbits. Not closer to land, not farther away, just tighter. Sensors refocus. Data refreshes faster. Every street below turns into heat signatures and motion lines on screens no one outside this operation will ever see. On USS Gerald R. Ford, nothing changes on the surface. Jets still launch. Jets still recover. The tempo never breaks. A deck operator glances at the clock and resets his stance. He has been sending aircraft into the night every 45 seconds for hours. He does not know why tonight matters more than any other. Closer to shore, USS Bataan finally breaks radio silence. Short takeoff jets lift off almost straight up, engines roaring as they climb hard into the dark sky. They arrive overhead in minutes. No weapons fire, no warning passes, just presence. Down below, resistance fades before it fully forms. Doors open, movements stop. The sudden weight of air power overhead does what words cannot. For a brief moment, every voice on the command net goes silent. 3 seconds pass. They feel longer than the entire night. Then one sentence comes through, steady and clear. Package secure. No cheers follow. No celebration. The jets keep flying. The deck keeps moving. The noise continues as if nothing happened at all. That is the climax of this operation. Not an explosion, not a firefight. Just control applied so precisely that nothing needs to break. If you think this kind of pressure decides wars before shots are fired, press 1 inch the comments. If you believe force only counts when weapons are used, press 9. And make sure you are subscribed, because what just happened did not end the story. It changed the rules. By the time the sun begins to rise, the Caribbean feels quiet again after a night of nonstop motion. Jets return one by one. Landing lights cut through the haze. Tires hit the deck. Crews guide aircraft into place with steady, practiced movements. Every plane comes back safely. No crashes. No injuries. No visible damage anywhere across the strike group. From the outside, it looks like nothing happened. There are no burning ships. No ruined runways. No dramatic images for the news. Official statements will be short and careful. Routine operations. No further details. For most people, this night will fade quickly from memory. But inside military planning rooms, this operation will not be forgotten. It proves a hard truth about modern conflict. Power does not always arrive with explosions. Sometimes it works by controlling time, space, and attention so completely that the other side never finds a moment to react. Venezuela did not lose aircraft. It did not lose ships. It lost awareness. Every radar stayed active. Every sensor kept scanning. Every analyst stayed busy. And yet the most important movement happened beneath all that activity, hidden by what looked like normal United States naval dominance. The battlefield was not destroyed. It was shaped and closed at the exact moment it mattered. On USS Gerald R. Ford, a young sailor finishes his shift and walks below deck. He is tired and ready to sleep. He has no idea what the night truly meant. He only knows he did his job on time, every time, without error. That is where real dominance comes from, not from one weapon, but from thousands of simple actions done perfectly under pressure. The United States did not cross a border. It did not fire a single shot. It controlled the outcome from offshore. If you think this is how future conflicts will be decided, Press 1 inch the comments. If you believe wars are still won only by destruction, press 9. And make sure you are subscribed, because this night was not the end. It was a warning.